HiGPS with a video called How to Spot a Cheater, because usually what I do is I take requests and videos and users submitted content and then I try to do something about it, and somebody actually made a free-to-play account and got themselves a hack and recorded themselves playing with it and sent it to me and is like, make an episode about it if you want. Then I was like, cool. That's nothing I've never done before, and thought it would be interesting to see like knowing for definitely that these guys, or this guy, I'm not sure if there's one or more, he changes names, but we're going to be taking a look at that today and see like cheaters. Like, look at this. Yeah, this is legit, man. Like, I just happened to turn 90 degrees in the scope in the less of a second. So we're going to look at the first clip again, where we have this tunnel here. It's kind of in slow motion. You've seen this already. And goes straight for the headshot and shoots. Right now, he didn't include what kind of cheat he was using, so I'm just going to assume aimbot. So let's take a look at that clip again in a bit slower motion. So if we take a look at it again in very slow motion, you can see like, suddenly pretty quick, and then exactly in his head, and pauses there for a good while, and actually tracks it pretty perfectly. Of course, it is a recorded demo, so some glitches are meant to be had, but that's like one of the earliest signs you could tell. So the next thing I want to talk about when it comes to like spotting a cheater, especially if they're obvious like this guy, is that if they suddenly stop like this, they're most likely configuring their hack, is what he included in the email. And just look at this. He's currently using an aimbot, and this is pretty easy to spot. Like, you can see this is very jerky, not human movement at all. It's kind of obvious. And it also gives an achievement, kind of gives it away. I remember seeing on the Team Fortress Reddit that, yeah, like running into walls and this, and like there's a pyro and it doesn't even see it and it gets killed. It's kind of like, whoa, okay. So another thing that's really easy to spot is that they're really good at shooting, but they don't really pay much attention to anything ever. It's just there. And like in this clip, kind of a dead giveaway. Mouse movement isn't human. So if we take a look at it again in slow motion, you can kind of see like, it turns over, sees the scout, and pyro. It's pyro. What the fuck was that? Nobody does that. Like, you can try and be as jerky and jittery when you record, but it's not gonna look like that with this speed. Just kind of hanging out, just looking. We're back to normal speed. Yay! It's kind of obvious. So we're, once again, same guy, I think. Really unnatural movements. Headshots all over the place. I think there actually was a demo man on the left-hand side there that he didn't even notice. Yeah, there he is. So this video is meant as to like a good example of what cheating actually looks like, because there's a lot of players that are just really good, and then there's players who are cheating who are not really good, and then you have players who are really good at cheating. So there's players who have probably been cheating for a very long time and are very hard to figure out, which I think is kind of a problem. So here we have some MG footage. I removed the HUD because there were actually some clan name or some minor players playing against them. There were things said in the chat about others. I don't know. I just didn't feel like it was interesting for this video. So we're just going to purely focus on this point of view. So, is this guy cheating? Let's say we don't know. Is he cheating? The guy we're currently watching the point of view from, who is currently recording. So it is MG, of course, super circle jerk. And yeah, I guess the odds are pretty high that this guy's not legit. Maybe he like turns it on and off like a toggler, like there. Instantly, as he killed him, he locked onto his head on the new spawn like instantly. So we're gonna look at different kinds of cheats later, and let's see if we can like identify which one is being used here. Currently, there's two different kinds. Well, as I was told, there's two different kinds. There might be even more. I don't know. There's one thing called aim key, I guess is what he said in the email, where it's basically you push the key and then the aimbot turns on, and when you drop the key, the aimbot turns off, and then he said like the hack is very configuratable or something. So you can actually configure it to like maybe, I don't know, trace but not fire, so you shoot yourself, or it shoots everything on its own. As for the hack itself, he said it was a free one, and that took him exactly about 10 minutes to find with Google search. He did, however, get VAC banned, I think a week. Let me see what this says in the email. It says... yeah, about a week later he was banned. Valve anti-cheat banned, so... he did want to tell me what cheat he was using, and I don't think that's really interesting either. But, it's definitely something that is not brought up enough, especially in a competitive setting, because I have a feeling from some place that there's actually a lot of players who are in the top who may or may not be using some sort of enhanced game thing, because there was actually quite a lot of names in like the whole thing that was earlier with ETF12 when they used like the secret hack catching thing. Which is, you know, really a shame, really, because sometimes it can be really hard to tell if players are legit or not. That's like the whole problem, and that's why, like, I think for FPSs in general, not just Team Fortress 2, but every FPS, is that players who are like insanely good are so hard to spot, as opposed to cheaters, because apparently hacks have gotten so good that they can pretty much mimic the abilities of a pro pretty much perfect at this point. So it's like next to impossible to actually like 100% decide if it's a cheat or not on just like watching them play. But this is pretty obvious because there's like tracing and suddenly stopping and just doing nothing, just waiting like this. Usually means they're configuring their hacks somehow on the fly. This is very common on pubs, like if you want to know what the fuck was that? What the? So let's have a look at that again. So headshots to Pyro. Yeah, alright, fine, whatever. And aims towards the Pyro and flicks over and kills the medic. You know, as you do. So I think here, he didn't actually include in this clip what types of cheat he was using, but in this clip I'm guessing he's using like a variety of different ones, like there. This jerky tracing there. So the guy didn't include any information if he played in pubs, or just pubs, or he plays competitively or not, or if he cheats on a regular basis or not. So I don't know. Not really that important. He asked me not to bring up his name, probably his fake name as well that he is using here. Aliases. So let's move into the ridiculous part, which is the Ambassador Spy with aimbot. Holy fucking shit. If any weapon is broken with an aimbot, it's gotta be this one. Like, this is what is... whoa, okay, pardon me for fast forwarding a bit here. That's okay. Oh yeah, you know, legit, you know, you usually get the headshots at that range, and at that speed. Apparently his name is Scooter. It was. Scooter 2013, best ambassador aim with this. Boosh. Yeah, legit! Especially that little flinch thing. Considering he only does it when players are in a certain position and a certain distance. So if you see stuff similar to this, you know, in any setting, it's pretty much a cheater all the time. There's like no exception. So there's also like cheater behavior, which is some people cheat just to have fun, like cheat a little bit with their friends maybe, like LAN parties when you're like 13. Remember, I did that like a really long time ago, and I actually managed to trick. That was like when CS 1.5 just came out, I think, and I was at this LAN with like, yeah, it was kind of a big LAN for our city. It was like 400 people, and I had configured my hack in a way that I had like this little box in the middle, so I just basically put aimed normally, and then when I locked onto somebody, my aim kept being locked on, and then I could just shoot and fire. It was CS, so it was kind of easy to get kills that way. And, I think I was like maybe 12 or 13 or some shit like that, maybe younger. Something like that. And basically the admins came over to me and they were like, hey, are you cheating? I'm like, no, absolutely not. Under no circumstances am I cheating. I am legit. I'm just naturally good at this game, even though I haven't played it all that much and are suddenly really good all than my friends. And then they're like, oh, well, we're gonna have to like do a test of your client right now, because they like kind of came to me in the break of a match or whatever. And they actually sat down on my computer and tested it. And they were like, yeah, it seems legit, and then they just left. And if I, as a 13-year-old, are able to trick the anti-cheat admins when they actually use my computer that is using the cheat, chances are somebody much older and much smarter and more cunning are able to cheat people who they don't meet in person, such as in the leagues. Just based on the logical fact that I did it at such an early age, when I had absolutely no fucking clue what I was doing. Oh yeah, and by the way, my the cheat I had like a Trojan virus. I had to install my computer later. But after that, I stopped cheating, I think. Yeah, except like cheats in like GTA and like built-in cheats, like hacks online. But yeah, this stuff right here gets intense. This is pretty crazy. You are correct. Just getting the headshots. So, I think, yeah, he's also shot invisible spies. Which is pretty crazy. Yeah, I think he does it here, actually. Yeah. Completely invisible spy, double headshot, you know, as you do. Like things like this. I think he's just showing off at this point in time. Whereas he's like, look at me, I'm cheating, and I'm good at that. Yeah, not really fun to play against, really. I mean, like, the only excuse for a cheat ever would be, like, maybe if you're on, like a small LAN party with, like, maybe 2 or 3 friends, and you just pull that out, and everybody's kind of using it, just having, like, fun when you're, like, 13. I think, like, if you cheat and you're older than, like, 15, it's kind of not acceptable, in a way. But, it's surprising. I'm actually thinking of see if I can get a hold of somebody who used to create a hack or in development a hack and like do sort of interview to see from their side like how things are. Maybe like get like an anonymous list of how many players in the higher divisions actually use this kind of stuff. Okay, so this clip right here is aim key, where he has bound I guess like a key to shoot, and he uses that kind of like toggle to activate aimbot in a way. And it's also made the bind where he jumps after every shot, which makes it a lot harder to see if he's cheating or not. So I guess this guy have watched some of my show and know my stance on like the sniper mechanics that I don't think you should be able to jump out of scope. So here we go, just fast forwarding just a little bit. Shoot jump to get some damage. And this is like things to look for. This is absolutely a cheat, 100%. It's called aim key as well. A bit of a slow motion here. And it shoots the demo, jumps. The examples gets even worse towards the end. Like, he doesn't even know where he comes from. Like, shooting the bush. Like, if it was an invisible spy there, he would probably have killed it, so. Like a sentry. What's that? Engineer kills him. But look at this one. Boosh. Yeah. So here we have it again in slow motion. It's the engineer. Jump counts out of scope just as quickly, making it harder to see if it's legit or not. We know this is not legit, but I mean, like, in case like this was like one shot in like a match or something, it could be pretty hard. And that's pretty not legit as well. Let's look at that one more time. He jumps and whoop, boosh. Dead son. So I'm just gonna watch some more gameplay. So The things to look for are jerky animations and constant jumping, I guess. That's not really a cheat, but it makes it harder to like see. But here is pretty obvious at this point in time. But like, what happened if this was the kind of play, if there was like one of the top players in Europe or in USA, if they played like this? Like, exactly like this. Let's say this was one of them playing. Just assume that. Like, what would your response be? Be like, no, they're just good! Or would be like, yeah, you know, this is actually not legit. Actually. Apparently his hack doesn't work on buildings. Having some trouble is killing a mini center there. Get some achievement for it. Apparently that's how it's done. And yeah, he dies to a scout actually. He's really bad. That's warning. Checking he's back in the spawn because that's something the pros do are really good. They check their back in spawn where people can't physically go. So if he's in place similar to this, which has similar traits and are very suspicious, most likely is a cheat because we know for a fact that this is a cheat. So anything similar to this is most likely a cheat as well. Now, one thing when it comes to cheaters is also attitude. If they're really, really good and have like a really crappy attitude and like really rude, chances are higher that they're a cheater unless there's like they're really nice. Like, let's say if you're a cheater and you're really, really nice, chances are that you're gonna get caught are much smaller. Because you're nice. Like, fake nicking and all that stuff. Oh yeah! Look at that one! Woo! Let's have a look at that. So here he is, scoping it. Yeah. I shot at somebody earlier. Yeah, that's kill feed. Yep. And gonna shoot this guy right over here! Actually kills the demo man that's on the left hand side there and saw something in the house. That's what I mean by this is getting ridiculous because apparently when you turn on the aim key it's just an aimbot and the aimbot just aims at whatever's it targets, I guess? Whatever's closer or more dangerous or something. Probably I'm not entirely sure how it works. There was a guy who did an AMA on how aimbots work on Team Fortress 2 Reddit a while back. Didn't look into it too much, but it was definitely interesting to see that kind of stuff. So now he's back here again. Just gonna go up here and see what's up. Medic, yep, totally legit as always. Especially when you take a look at it in slow motion again. Just look at the mouse movement once again. Gonna take a look at this and. Aim key is the key to aiming well. So he shoots and then immediately he aims at the demo man right after the shot, which causes this flick. That's what I'm guessing. Because maybe it's like he hold down to aim, or maybe it's a toggle. It would make sense if it was just like hold down to shoot though. Like if you had like, oh yeah, man, oh yeah. I mean, look at this, look at this. So he's just aiming at the wall. Here comes the demo man, runs out of his scope, can't fucking see him, and boom, headshot. He was actually aiming at his feet when he pulled the trigger. Let's see that again. So there we go. Here comes the demo man, shoots, he dies. Shoot his feet. Yeah. This is, I think this is my favorite part because it's so fucking ridiculous. Just look at the jitter of this shit. Okay, so yeah, scout misses scout. Hits the scout, aims at the heavy, shoots the medic that's right below the heavy. Oh man, let's take a look at that again. So he shoots the engineer, instantly aims at the demo man, even though. Yeah, whatever. And let's take a look at it in slow motion from this distance, because this is like. It looks like a legit shot, I guess. Yeah, that looks like a legit shot, actually. Like, if he just had that one and nothing else, I don't think anyone would have gotten him as a cheater, actually. Because it's hard to tell a lot of times. It's really hard to tell. And that's like the main issue with most, like I mentioned earlier, most FPS games, which is probably why FPS gaming isn't as huge as, you know, mobile games or RTS games, where it's like, it's a lot hard to cheat, I guess. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm just guessing. Whoa! Look at those fancy flex shots. Man, it's like he had some help. So he's like, yeah, get the heavy. And boost, nope, getting a medic. Got the medic instead. Tricked you. I knew the medic was there because I have a sixth sense called a hack. That makes me good. So on the last segment here, you know, I only said Triggerbot only. So I guess this is what Triggerbot is. From what I know, Triggerbot is basically it just pulls the trigger for you and nothing else. So I guess that's what's really hard to detect, and that's also my guess on what most people are using, because if they have like really strange aiming patterns such as this. One thing he also mentioned was that even though like he used an aimbot that only shoots headshots, the hit registration is, and I quote, so shit that Team Fortress 2 don't even recognize headshots. Okay, so, okay. I guess what he means is, he means that, like, even if you have a hack that always constantly headshots you, you still miss. Because the hit registration is bad in the game. So that's kind of like a fishy shot. It's really hard to tell. Like, usually, the trigger botters, well, the one trigger bot we have here at least, very steady aim and isn't like preemptively pulling the trigger and missing a lot. He just like, his accuracy is pretty high. Just keeps using the trigger bot thing. And judging from like bans I've seen in the past, I think to remember that Triggerbot is like the most common one that the players get caught using. There was like this trick you could use the console to see if they were, but I'm not sure if it fixed, because hacks have gotten, like I mentioned, so fucking good. They're so good. They can like have chances of error and shit, apparently, in the configuration. It's just ridiculous how good they are this time. That's Triggerbot shots. Could be legit though. You never know. Maybe this is legit. Maybe this is not a cheater. But he says it is, so. Also, he doesn't fire a lot, you see? It's like he spends a lot of time aiming and not shooting, so I guess just judged by the fact that this is not how you snipe. So that one very peculiar. People usually tend to just flick once and then shoot and then miss, but here he like flicks a lot of times and then he dies because he's bad. So we are on Turbine. So this is what Triggerbot looks like with the SMG. Looks really weird. This, yeah. That's kind of like a giveaway for Triggerbots when you aim like that. You just flicker all willy-nilly and be like, I hope to God my crosshair passes somebody's head so it will pull the trigger and kill them. He seems kind of surprised that he got the kill after he got it on the play. So yeah. Let's take a look at that again. Dead and dead. Slow motion. Like that reaction time, I don't think it's humanly possible. Like if you play the sheep game that tests human reaction time, it's not actually humanly possible to react that fast unless you just slump and shoot that just one time. Because that happens, but not this frequently. So here is another example of strange shit. It's a heavy. The heavy turns, doesn't shoot, and it's like aiming towards the heavy. And then the medic jumps and he shoots the heavy. The medic, rather. Sorry. And then he runs over to this side. And somehow knows the heavy was there!
We have brought the enemy intelligence. We have taken the enemy intelligence.
So there's some more examples of trigger botting.
We have secured
Now he has
the enemy
crits.
intelligence.
Headshot.
Bloody pikers!
Headshot. It just basically puts this crosshair on their heads and it pulls the trigger like that. Very good example right here on trigger botting. That last shot could have been legit though. But we know in this case it is trigger bot. Judged on what we've seen previously. So that is pretty much it, guys. So if you see something similar to this, this is what Triggerbot. You now know what Triggerbot and aimbot looks like. Aim key as well. And that's pretty much what I cover. There's probably something else, something's called, but I don't know. So thank you guys for watching. See you later.
We have dropped the enemy.